Conor McGregor and Max Holloway just put up an absolute 5-round bloodbath war to round off UFC 29. That was an absolutely incredible card, full of wars, and the main event 100% delivered, is what I wish I could have said after last night, because UFC 29 ended in the worst scenario ever. And you know what? I was watching this fight with my brother, and he said, what if Conor McGregor just goes out and injures himself immediately? He could have only gotten that idea from Benjamin Netanyahu, because how did he know that? Oh, I don't know, it was written in the stars that Conor McGregor comes back after 5 years, the most anticipated comeback ever, and he just blows his knee out within 10 seconds. It's just fantastic for every fan. And imagine being Conor McGregor in that situation. You're so excited for your comeback, and then boom, your knee gives out. Now, obviously, there's a lot of speculation to this knee injury, as there was always going to be with the UFC fan base. But I'm just going to tell you right now, that was not an injury suffered prior to the fight. That is a freak injury that happened during that kick. Conor throws that kick and injures himself on that kick. That did not happen in any prior circumstance. If you believe that, you're a donut. If you look at clips of Conor McGregor warming up for this fight, he's throwing that kick perfectly fine. You can tell that was the game plan, to come out with that kick. His coach, Chris Kavanagh, then comes out and he says that they have been training that exact kick for months. That was the game plan. The game plan was to start with that kick. This isn't him this is a freak injury. This just happened unluckily during the fight. And I can tell you one thing as well, Conor McGregor is definitely the kind of guy that would have made a prior camp injury excuse if he had lost this fight and if that would have happened. But he didn't. He then tweets out his first response after the fight. He tweets, I was so sharp and so ready for this fight, I cannot believe what has happened. The talk of me being off while walking into the fight is nonsense. I was calm, ready and confident. I am in shock what has taken place. The devil is literally staring at me right in front of my face here. I'm not engaging. I will be at church tomorrow. I will overcome this. I will not be deterred. I will return. So to me, this sounds like McGregor was definitely 100% ready for this fight. He was sharp, he was confident, as he says, and the freak injury just happened. Now, Sean Strickland replied to this tweet, and he said something that caught my eye, because who knows, it could be true. Sean Strickland said this could have something to do with steroids. And taking steroids for as long as a hiatus as Conor McGregor took is going to take a toll on your body. It says it makes your body weaker. He speaks from experience. I don't know if I can believe that, and he says he's not 100% sure if that is actually the case. But at the same time, we've been seeing posts for like 2 or 3 years saying McGregor's the most drug-tested guy in the UFC, and he's had how many drug tests every year. And now we're using this excuse on steroids. It makes no sense to me. It's just a very... Everyone's just making this out to be this bizarre situation, when in reality, it's just a freak injury. We see this all the time. Nobody was saying Tom Aspinall had knee problems when he tore his ACL against Curtis Blades. We called that a freak injury. No one was saying Pantoja had problems going into the Van fight. That was a freak injury. He landed weird on his arm. But somehow, now that it's Conor McGregor, we're going and researching his warm-ups and him walking out, taking his shoes off and seeing him jumping weird on his knee. It's weird. Guys, it's weird. It's a freak injury. And it's a shame. It really, really is a shame, because I feel like McGregor, in the 0.5 seconds before the kick, during the kick, it looked like a pretty sharp kick, to be honest. And even him warming up, he did look decent. And I knew he wouldn't lose that technique. I think maybe the adversity would be the cardio or in the later rounds, but I knew he wouldn't lose his technique and his skills because he's still Conor McGregor. Like, this isn't Nick Diaz coming back after 5 years, who was always just a sloppy fucker. This is Conor McGregor coming back after 5 years. Also, the brass neck, the balls of Jake Paul to come out with this after the fight, and that reaction video of him holding his knee and then falling into the pool. Mate, you broke your jaw against Anthony Joshua. The entire comment section was gifs of that. He should be the last individual commenting on this fight. Obviously, he's doing it for clicks. We know who Jake Paul is. But it's pathetic to me. It's very pathetic. And I'll tell you this right now. Any real UFC fan, any real fan of this sport would have been devastated at that result. They would have been devastated that Conor McGregor done his knee in 10 seconds after waiting 5 years for the biggest name in the sport to come back. You should have been devastated at that result. But of course, the real question is, where does Conor McGregor go from here? Because this most likely is going to be a pretty bad knee injury when it comes out. I think it's going to be either a torn meniscus or a torn ACL, which is bad. And that is going to take a while. But do you guys remember when Conor McGregor went on Ariel Helwani and he said April 2027 was the date of the final fight of his UFC contract? That feels weirdly fitting, because I feel like that is enough time to heal from this kind of injury, no? I feel like that's enough time. So I honestly still feel like we're going to see Conor McGregor fight again. Next year, in April. Against probably Max Holloway again. Or if Michael Chandler's still in the sport, maybe Michael Chandler. We don't know. But I don't think this is the end for Conor McGregor. I feel like he still wants to come back and at least have a proper fight. Because that was anticlimactic. Probably a bit too anticlimactic for my mental health, to be honest with you. Anyway, we're going to cover a couple more fights on the card. BSD, unfortunately, lost in the only way that I thought he would lose. Rush in for a shitty, slow, extended takedown and then just get guillotined or darshed, whatever the two. And by the way, Paddy Pimblett had this one in tight. Like, BSD, the second Paddy got a hold of that, he was just fucked. Like, Paddy Pimblett off his back, off of them kind of chokes, is dangerous, man. That's why I thought that was probably one of his only paths to victory. Paddy Pimblett is his jiu-jitsu is very dangerous, and people still underrate it because it's Paddy Pimblett. Guys, when are we going to realise that Paddy Pimblett is actually kind of decent? This is a really good win. This is a statement win. After getting bet up by Justin Gaethje for 5 rounds, everyone was like, nah, Paddy's finished now. He comes out against BSD, who's on a really good win streak, probably would have got a title shot if he beat Paddy, and Paddy just goes out there and beats him in less than a minute. And I'll tell you this, BSD had less octagon time yesterday than Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, despite that injury, lasted longer than BSD. Do you know how impressive that is for Paddy Pimblett? To just take BSD out like that so quickly. It's super duper impressive. Now, where does Paddy go? Honestly, bro, they should have just plucked him out of the changing room with his pizzas and Luke Riley, fucked them off, brought him into the octagon and had him fight Max Holloway instead. Because Max Holloway didn't break a sweat, Paddy Pimblett didn't break a sweat. Fuck it, new main event, Pimblett vs Holloway. Dan Igue's record broken, 1 hour notice fight. Obviously I'm joking, but I'd still think that's the next fight to make. Paddy Pimblett versus Max Holloway. If Max Holloway doesn't want to sit around and wait for that Conor McGregor trilogy, he's going to go back down to lightweight, and I don't see any other fight for Holloway that makes sense other than Paddy Pimblett. Maybe Arman Sarukian, but honestly I think we should just cut Arman Sarukian from the sport because he's really fucking up this lightweight title picture, if I'm being honest with you. Or I guess you could do Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria. I'm not really too sure. The next fight for Paddy Pimblett's going to be a big one. That's just a guarantee. Mario Bautista beat Corey Sandhagen by decision. What the fuck did I tell you? All of these Sandhagen fanboys being like, bro, Bautista's still so boring. Sandhagen's going to put a striking clinic on him. Get fucked. Get fucked, you loser. Mario Bautista's legit, man. He's actually pretty fucking good. Okay? That was an impressive victory. He's on a decent win streak now. I don't know what you do next with him. You'll give him maybe a number one contender fight. I think that's what makes sense. For Corey Sandhagen, holy fuck, you're screwed, buddy. You're 1-4 in your last 5 fights. Or 1-3 in your last 4, whatever the fuck it is. His last win was the Davison-Figueiredo fight, which was over a year ago. But he's got to get a win and quick. Brandon Royval versus Lanier Kavanagh. One of the fights of the night for as long as it lasted. Honestly, bro, I think Kavanagh threw that away. He had Royval hurt bad, bro. It's been a while since I've seen Royval hurt like that. Like, Cap just, like, put him out. But, like, Kavanagh had him chicken-legged. That head kick after the left hand that dropped him in the second round was brutal, man. I'm surprised that Royval survived that. And not only survived that, went and won the fight and submitted Lanier Kavanagh. It's very impressive. It is very impressive. And yeah, I do feel for Lanier. I do feel for him because I think he can definitely hang with these top flyweights. I think he's proven that Moreno win wasn't a fluke and that Moreno wasn't washed, and that's just a really good win. He went to war with Brandon Royval, and Brandon Royval's been at the top of flyweight for how long now? Like, this is although he did lose by submission, it's still not a bad result for Lanier Kavanagh. I still think he's going to bounce back. Although I feel like he's got to improve his grappling. Brandon Royval exposed that part of his game bad. He was easily taking him down, and obviously he got submitted in the end. Lanier Kavanagh has got to avoid guys like Ramazan Terimov and Asu Almabayev and stuff, and even Pantoja. Nonetheless, though, it was a very impressive performance from Royval. Ken Green vs Terence McKinney was the easiest fight to predict ever. It didn't go past the first round, barely. Of course, I said Terence McKinney was going to win because I wasn't impressed with Bobby Green's last win against Jeremy Stephens. Let's be fucking honest. Bobby Green was losing the entire fight. He won 10 seconds of that fight. So, I'm not going to be totally mad about that. He just randomly starched him after being held on control time and wobbled on the feet. That's just classic Terence McKinney. He fucking wins one fight by first round KO and then loses the next one by first round KO. And then we're just in a constant circle. And this guy's just never going to fucking blossom. We're never going to see him. But yeah, big win for Bobby Green, man. Big win. Final couple more fights that I want to discuss. Robert Whittaker in his light heavyweight debut gets the TKO victory, and isn't that just beautiful? Seeing Robert Whittaker win in 2026, going up a weight class. He said it perfectly in his post-fight interview. Oh, I'm a small light heavyweight. I was a small middleweight. Yeah. Watch that, he broke Krylov's jaw. He looked fantastic in the striking. I'm telling you, man, and I said it during watching the fight, if Paulo Costa can turn into a legitimate title contender at light heavyweight, Whittaker's also got championship potential. The career move of just moving up a weight class is such a great idea when you're late in your career, and Rob is showing that. I think he's going to get a really big fight next at light heavyweight. A top 10 fight. He's going to be ranked at light heavyweight now. So, I don't know. We'll see what the stars align for big Rob Whittaker, man. And finally, we'll talk about Rapel Stevenson's win against Alicia Ellison. Did you see any other outcome? Because I didn't. Cable Stevenson puts him at cold. He actually did kind of impress me a wee bit with his striking. But then again, he's fighting an absolute fucking can. But I don't know. We'll see how he does against an actual decent heavyweight, which he's going to take a long time to fight because there's like 4 actual decent heavyweights. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he gets the Josh Holkett treatment and just gets the top 5 fight straight away. But I feel like they're going to slow pace him up just like they did to Bo Nickel. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, that'll fucking do it for my UFC 329 recap. What a fantastic card, ruined by a lackluster main event, honestly. I'm going to give the card a solid 6.8 out of 10. It would have gone up if we got a proper main event, but it was ruined because that was the main attraction, was that main event. But for a McGregor card, it was very, very good.